Hello, today we're going to make the hardcover for your art history book you're making. I have lined my hardcovers here on top of a piece of construction paper, and I've laid this pencil in the middle to get the width right. So I'm going to leave that there, and I am going to put glue on here, and I think I'll take the top off, because what we're going to do is not so much put it in an exact spot, but smear it all over, and then you're going to use a popsicle stick to butter it evenly. You don't want any clumps, because that would make it bumpy. I got a little bit there, so. Okay, so I'm going to smear this like this, so it's pretty even. And one other way that you can do this is to have the two pieces of cardboard kiss for a while. So I'm going to kiss my cardboards, slide them around there so nice and flat. And I'm going to pull them apart. I'm going to put them back in place on either side of my pencil. Make sure that the border is pretty even on all sides. Line them up as close as you can to each other. Now I had to hand cut these, and they're not perfect, but they're pretty close. Press it down into place. Now I'm going to approach one of these corners with my ruler and just go beyond the point. And I like to use the plastic ruler so I can see. Notice that my point here is touching the line, but it's not over it. It's very important you don't go over that line. We're going to go over here and do that. And on this side. And on the fourth corner. Okay, now you're going to take your scissors here and cut those off. So you want to cut off the four corners. I'll have 4 triangles to throw away there. Mark McGuire taught the art teachers how to do this one time at an in-service. So that's how I learned how to do this. Okay, leave the pencil there for a while. You're going to take your glue, and you will have I don't have bottles of glue for all of you, so you're going to have to, cheap thrill. You have to be careful folding it up because construction paper wants to tear. You're going to smear it along here. Anything along, you can use your finger. I use my fingers. Maybe you don't like touching this stuff. It doesn't bother me. Okay. Put it a line here, 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 here. And we're going to fold all 4 corners in, and I'm going to use a paper clip to hold it in place while it dries, because you want it to dry nice and straight. Take some of that and put it there. Yeah, I'm messy, but we have a sink, and we have soap, and we have paper towels. You'll be fine. Okay, I fold that over. I'm going to smear that kind of flat because I don't want it sticking up. Again, I'll use my paper clips to hold it in place. And hopefully it won't tear too much when we take the paper clips off. You're going to have this, let this dry. And I'm going to put a drying rack in the room for you to put this on. Those 2 paper clips are real good friends. Okay, so here, and come down. You want to try and fold this in to get them to meet as close as possible. Like this one's really good. It meets very nicely. Okay, so this is why I don't like paper clips to lay around. Somehow they get to be really good friends and they don't like to separate. Okay, so I want that to stay there. So I'm going to put a paper clip there. Just a second. And I want to slide this in as much as I can and try and get those to meet as close as I can, get them to meet. And paper clip it in place. I'm going to do that all the way around. Try to push everything down as much as you can. Come on the other side here. Thought I had enough paper clips. Guess not. Got some more paper clips. I'm going to paper clip this down, and then I'm going to put it up to one side to let it dry. And you can let it dry, oh, I don't know, about 10 to 15 minutes would do it. Slide those in. So, because the glue hasn't dried, you can slide a lot. See how I slid those two together? Okay, now I'm going to paper clip this in place. Okay, the only one that's not down is over here. Let me paper clip it. And the glue will come off. I can get it off the table, so if you get it on the desk, don't worry about it. Just don't deliberately make a mess. You know, some people like to. Some people can't help it. I had one girl who got all over herself and her hair and everything. It's water-based, so it'll come out. Okay, so I can take my pencil out now. I need that to be where the papers go. So this one is ready to go dry. Oh, got another one over here. Remember, paper clip them down so they really grab that cardboard. Do that on all sides. Okay, so I've got everything paper clipped in place. I'm going to put this to one side so it can dry. All right, so this one I did on fabric, and you can see that we meet pretty much on all four corners. What we're going to do is put a piece of paper here. Doesn't matter what color. I'm going to put a pink one. It's going to be pink. It's a girl's one. Okay. I'll pour some glue there. I'm sure this is not how real books are bound, but it's how ours are. I'm going to use my glue here. My popsicle stick to butter my glue in place. And on one side, to hide the fact that they don't meet perfectly, I'm going to put my colored piece of paper. And on the other side, we're going to glue down our pages. So that looks like, and I'll put this to one side, it looks like this. I'm going to glue that in place, but this one doesn't have a title page. You have a title page on yours. Mine got messed up. But the back of your book gets glued to the back of the cardboard. Now this one is not very well done, but you should be covering up where the pieces don't match. See how it doesn't meet? This edge should be covering that up. So you will be doing that with yours. And then you will have a book. Now, later this week, we will make an actual title for the front cover of your book that will have your name on it and a shield. As the Roman Empire collapses, fewer people can read and write, so it gets really important to be able to look at symbols and know what they mean. That and the fact that a lot of people didn't speak the same language, so they needed a language everybody spoke, and that was a visual language of symbols. And that's going to become a dominant thing in your Middle Ages, which we will study starting in late January, first part of February, for those of you who stay with me for the Middle Ages. So this gives you an idea of what it should look like. I'm going to try and teach a bunch of kids how to do this before we do it in class, and then they will pair up with people who are just starting to do it, and hopefully between that and the video you'll be able to have a successful bookmaking. Thank you for your attention.